This channel is about Jamaica, but if you're new here, please note that we often cover totally unexpected topics about Jamaica that you won't find anywhere else on the internet. Today's video is no exception because we will talk about migration. This migration, the recent multi-million-dollar animated family movie where the main characters are talking ducks, trying to migrate to, of all places, Jamaica. So of course I had to watch it, and guess what? This movie is surprisingly accurate in portraying Jamaica, or at least some aspects of it. Let me show you what I mean.
Hey there! I hear you want to join our migration?
Sorry?
Oh, we're going back to Jamaica. Have you ever been?
No.
Oh, it's just magical. I swear there's even a luminous lagoon where the water glows.
Oh, wow. Oh, I really want to see that.
Well, then it is settled.
And it's true, we have the Luminous Lagoon with glowing water in Jamaica. I have a separate video about it on my channel, please check it out. And in real life, the Luminous Lagoon looks just like they showed in their animation later in the film. This is just one example from that movie, but I'm sure most people who watched it didn't even pay attention because, well, it's an animation designed for children, and it comes from the studio that created the Minions. Not exactly a documentary, if you see what I mean. So I didn't expect them to do any research on Jamaica, but they did, and included these sorts of Easter eggs that can only be found by people who have extensively traveled Jamaica. That's why I believe this film deserves some attention. The story itself is about a family of mallards who decide to leave their comfortable pond in the north to migrate for winter to a beautiful paradise island that happens to be Jamaica. Their trip is full of adventures, dangers and challenges, with most of the action happening in the United States. So Jamaica is really featured only at the very end, once they have reached their dream destination. But they do refer to Jamaica multiple times before they get there.
We're trying to get to Jamaica.
Yeah, that's in Queens, right?
More south, the Caribbean.
Oh, that Jamaica. I got a buddy who knows that place like the back of his wing.
Look, there it is! That's Jamaica!
Yeah, this is something I learned from the movie because I never knew we had flamingos in Jamaica. I've never seen one roaming the beaches, so I just assumed they never come. But my subscribers know that I tend to check information before making it public, and look what I found. These are Caribbean flamingos in Clarendon, Jamaica. And there are multiple reports of people seeing flamingos on the south coast. So if you're from the south, have you seen any flamingos? Please share in the comments. So yeah, it turns out this movie knew about flamingos in Jamaica and I didn't, even after 10 years living here. But before we go on, let me mention a few things I believe they got wrong. In general, it's true that millions of birds actually migrate from the North America to the Caribbean, including Jamaica, to spend their winter here. But they are not mallards. We have ducks in Jamaica, but they're local ones, not from the US. The fact that they showed the phenomenon of migration of birds to the Caribbean is great, but I'm not sure why they chose these particular ducks. Another thing that they got wrong is what all American films get wrong, and that's the Jamaican accent. I'm not a Jamaican, so I can't be sure, but I have a Jamaican audience. So please tell me, does this talented actor sound Jamaican to you?
Delroy the Parrot, what they should do next time they play in a Super Bowl is play it in Jamaica. Go see migration.
Yeah, there you go.
He's the voice for McCall character, who's supposed to be Jamaican.
Do you know the way to Jamaica?
Do I know the way to Jamaica?
No, Jeff, he's a little sensitive about it. He was born and raised there.
We could get the key.
No, kid. That's impossible.
Why? Where is it?
Down there. The chef keeps that key on him at all times. And trust me, you don't want to go anywhere near that lunatic. Him catch ya, him turn you into duck à l'orange.
What's duck à l'orange?
It's you, with l'orange on top.
What do you think? Let me know. And we don't have macaws in the wild in Jamaica. I'm pretty sure about that because the family member of mine is a macaw, so I know about them. He was born in Jamaica, but macaws as a species come from Central and South America, not Jamaica. There are speculations that there used to be a Jamaican red macaw which went extinct around the 19th century, but they're viewed as a hypothetical extinct species. So this character, the macaw, they portray in the film as a Jamaican wild bird, cannot possibly be Jamaican. So no wonder if he has a fake accent. But now to the things they got right.
Just tell him how to get there.
Fly to the big green statue, fly due south for 3 miles, then due east for 1 mile, due west for 10 miles, then your southwest for 1 mile, south-southeast for 2 miles, and south-southwest for the rest of the way. And don't stop until you see that mist dancing atop the beautiful blue mountains. You can't miss it!
Oh, no, don't cry, Big Red. It's all right. We didn't mean to upset you.
Okay guys, this is just like me when I have to be in Europe for a few weeks and then some reggae music starts playing and I'm like, Jamaica, and I want to go back. Yeah, I found it quite relatable. Anyway, the Blue Mountains are a real place and they're absolutely gorgeous. And yes, there is folk sitting on them all the time. And you can see it whether you just go into Blue Mountains from Kingston and then you'd see it especially in the morning, or if you're going through T3 highway through the mountains, you would see folk over there all the time because the Blue Mountains are all covered in rainforest, so of course it's expected. But the fact that they mentioned this in this video, it's pretty awesome. Now let's go to the end of the movie when they actually arrive in Jamaica. And the first thing we're gonna get to see is the Luminous Lagoon, mentioned earlier. Here's the full scene. The Luminous Lagoon is located in a place close to Falmouth, which is near Montego Bay. It's in the north coast. There are tours, they take you on a boat, and then you can go for a swim, just like these ducks, and then throw the water that is glowing. And it's pretty awesome. Yeah, check out the video.
It's real! The water is glowing!
This place is just like they show it, except that, of course, humans do that, not the ducks. But yeah.
That's it. That's Jamaica.
Okay, this is Portland. What they're showing in the movie is Portland. It's a parish in Jamaica, located in the east part of Jamaica. And this is exactly what it looks like when you're approaching Port Antonio from the sea. I know because I've done it on a sailing boat, and this is the kind of landscape that greets you. But the thing is that is not accurate is, of course, Port Antonio is very far from the place where the lagoon is. So just so you know, these places are actually located in two different parts of Jamaica, quite far away from each other. Yeah, but the mountains are accurate. And from what we're going to see next, it is clear that they are arriving in Portland.
Yeah! Let's go! Come on!
Okay, this shot of the Blue Mountains, you see these round-shaped mountains, right? We have them in Portland and Blue Mountains near Kingston, but if you want to see the whole scenery of these small round-shaped mountains, you need to visit Cockpit country. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. If you just go with a drone or if you just go to an elevated area, and you see this is what it looks like in real life. Yeah, this is Cockpit country. And yeah, the entrance of the river with the boats and things, there are many places in Jamaica that would have something like this. I can think of White River would have this kind of entrance from the sea. Then, like in Portland, where they are, supposedly, Blue Lagoon Don't confuse with Luminous Lagoon. Yeah, it's a different place. And the Blue Lagoon has this kind of beautiful entrance, but there is like a little island. So it actually looks even better than the one in the animated version.
Yeah! Look at me! Whoa!
So they're going through some waterfalls in the rainforest. Now, again, we have lots of places like this in Jamaica. The lower part of Duns River Falls is like that. Then Canoka Falls, you'd have Turtle River Falls. They're not open to the public though yet, so, but yeah. Now there's Irie Blue Hole. But if you think in Portland, probably Scattered Falls would be similar to this kind of setting when you just go over the falls in the rainforest. But then, look, then they're going to reach a really big waterfall. Check it out. This waterfall is real. It is called Nonsuch Falls. It is in Portland, and it is the tallest waterfall in Jamaica. Let me show you what it looks like in real life. The thing is though, if you want to see this waterfall with your own eyes, it can be a bit tricky unless you learn to fly, because the waterfall is located deep in the rainforest, and it is a quite long hike from already a place that is really far away from everything else, so it's quite an adventure.
Hey! Come on! GD! What? We've started! Dead right!
All right, we see all these colorful birds in this film, and this is somewhere where I'm like, well, I was surprised they didn't include any hummingbirds in this movie. You know, they had all these colorful, beautiful macaws that fly around that don't exist in Jamaica, instead of actually showing all the beautiful, colorful hummingbirds. We have so many of them, and you can feed them in Jamaica. In fact, Jamaica is a very good place for anyone who wants to do bird watching. We do have a lot of parrots in Jamaica. We have, for instance, the Amazon parrot. It's indigenous to Jamaica, so there are a lot of them flying around. Now, in the movie where they're flying in these mountains, right, we have a lot of vultures. They're called John Crow in Jamaica. And there are even mountains that are named after them. They're called John Crow and Blue Mountains. They're beautiful black birds with red heads, but considering their diet, I guess the filmmakers figured they're not the best fit for a kids' movie, so we have the macaws instead. Yep, that's exactly what Blue Mountains look like. If you go to Blue Mountains, like go to Irish Town, or you go anywhere through Blue Mountains, driving along B8 highway, well, it's not really highway, B8 road, I guess, that's exactly what you get to see. You see this circle of water, right, that they dive into? We have a lot of places like this in Jamaica, and we call them blue hole. There are blue holes everywhere. And there are waterfalls in Jamaica that are called blue hole waterfalls. You know, the Irie Blue Hole, or they're also known as Secret Falls. In Portland specifically, the nearest I can think of is Reach Falls. Reach Falls would come down and you have this beautiful circle of water. But this particular shot also surprised me by how accurate the representation of the underwater dive is. Cliff jumping is a big thing in Jamaica, okay? So if you do cliff jumping anywhere from these waterfalls, you would see pretty much what these birds saw in terms of the bottom, right? But more importantly, how foggy the water is. The river itself is quite clear, but because of the waterfall, the water gets foggy. For anyone who's ever done cliff jumping and tried to open their eyes, or anyone who's snorkeled in the river, yeah, that's what it looks like. I mean, it's just such a tiny thing, like a few seconds in the movie. But it's just so cool, you know, how they actually thought of that.
Wow.
Yeah, such a beautiful shot. Now, this kind of place does not exist in Jamaica. At least I've never seen anything like this, right? It looks like a collage of multiple places that are real in Jamaica. They're just all put together, like Dunsero Falls plus Reach Falls plus the Blue Mountains plus this. So they kind of put everything in one, and we have this shot. But I haven't seen a place like this in Jamaica. I don't know if you know one. It's not like I've seen everything, right? So maybe if you know a place that looks exactly like this with multiple waterfalls coming from different sides, yeah, that would be nice. What I find strikingly accurate is also vegetation. Trees and plants, they show like the ferns growing on the rocks. And you've seen these red flowers, right? This is red ginger. Check this out. This is a real place in Jamaica called Waterfalls. And look at the red ginger. Great, isn't it? So of course, all tropical places would have this kind of vegetation by the waterfalls, but the fact that they made it look like this and they kept this in mind and they included all these plants, yeah.
What?
Here's a question. Do ducks swim by the waterfalls in Jamaica? And the answer is yes, they do. And you can see them in real life if you go to a place called Blue Hole. It's a setting of 12 waterfalls in the rainforest. And there are several entrances, and you specifically choose the one called Nature Blue Hole Eco Attraction. They have ducks that are right there, and they swim right by the waterfalls.
No, Gwenny, you cannot take Toothpick back home.
But Toothpick wants to come.
I think it's time to let him go. Okay, honey?
Okay.
We do have crocodiles in Jamaica, okay? In the wild, just not in that particular area. Most crocodiles are in the south. In fact, if you want to see the crocodiles in the wild, you can do so by going to Black River. And you can get an excursion called Black River Safari, where you get on a boat and they take you through Black River, so you get to see all the crocodiles in a safe way, which is important. And this is a nice excursion where you can take your kids with you, and yeah, so there are crocodiles. Now, obviously, they're not kept as pets by little ducklings, but, you know, it's a children's movie.
So, we're ready for takeoff? Wait, where's your father?
Guys! 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 I just met these birds who are totally lost and said we'd help them get home. What do you say?
The place they're filming, okay, so, well, filming, this is an animated movie, but they're showing, okay, this beautiful beach with super clear water, lovely, you know, white sand, and then you have these two rocks with greenery framing around. Yeah, that's a real place in Jamaica. It's called Frenchman's Cove, and this is one of the most beautiful beaches in the Caribbean, and it's in Portland. And of course, I have a video about it, which you can watch here. This is what it looks like in real life. If you're ever in Portland, you just have to visit this place, and of course bring your kids, because there is just so much to do for them. There is like a swing, they have all the river to play around. It's beautiful, beautiful. I'd say it actually looks even better than the animated version of it in this movie. So yeah, it's that good.
I just met these birds who are totally lost and said we'd help them get home. What do you say?
Hi, hello.
Hi.
Mac, you do know that penguins are from the South Pole?
I know! Isn't that great?
Yeah, we're going to the South Pole.
Do we have penguins in Jamaica? I mean, look, I was wrong about flamingos, so I just had to check, okay? And no, we don't have penguins in Jamaica, at least not yet, okay? But it's not entirely impossible. You see, most people think that penguins only live in Antarctica, yeah, or like closer to the South Pole, but in reality, of course, you see them a lot in South Africa and on the beaches in South Africa and then in New Zealand and so on. But here's what else I found out. There are penguins who live at the equator and they swim in tropical waters. These are Galapagos penguins, which is not too far from Jamaica. I mean, relatively, right? So, sorry, it's just like, can you imagine penguins in Jamaica? This would have been so awesome, you know? They're like in Clarendon, right next to Flamingos. Yeah, that would be cool. Anyway. The final dance seems to be happening also in Frenchman's Cove. But here's the thing, Frenchman's Cove is facing north, so you would never have a sun right in the middle like this for sunset or something, right? But there is a beach also in Portland called Boston Beach, which has this kind of framing as well. It's smaller than Frenchman's Cove. I mean, this part of it. And this is what it looks like in real life. And the thing is, it is facing east. So if you go there during sunrise, you're gonna see the sun right in the middle. Anyway, I really enjoyed the migration movie, and the reason I've decided to make this video is to highlight all the animated places from Jamaica shown in this movie and compare them with the real ones. But here's another interesting observation. An animated movie featuring talking birds with scenes that contradict the laws of physics is still more accurate about Jamaica than the so-called documentaries or travel vlogs that get pretty much everything wrong about Jamaica. So yeah, that's the world we live in today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.